brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike from 1AAuto. I hope this how-to video helps you out. And next time you need parts for your vehicle, think of 1AAuto.com. Thanks.
In this video, we're going to be working with our 2001 Ford Ranger. We're going to show you how to remove and reinstall the cruise control switches in your steering wheel. These have a ribbon type connector on them, which can be very brittle sometimes. It can get caught up in stuff inside of the steering wheel and bind and get torn or cracked, causing your cruise control to malfunction. This information is going to be the same from 1998 to 2003. If you like this video, please click subscribe. We have a ton more information on this truck as well as many other makes and models. And if you want this part for your vehicle, you can follow the link down in the description over to 1AAuto.com. Here are the items you'll need for this repair. When working with or around any components of the airbag or SRS system, be sure to disconnect the negative terminal of the battery and allow the modules inside of the vehicle to fully power off for 30 minutes. SRS components can be identified by yellow wire harness wraps and yellow electrical connectors. Always be cautious around these components for power or static charges. We're going to use an 8mm socket and ratchet to loosen the terminal on the battery, or you can use a wrench. Loosen the clamp. Wiggle it off of the terminal and tuck it somewhere down to the side where it won't accidentally come back and complete the circuit. To make it easier to show you, we're going to be working from the passenger side of the steering wheel here, but you'll have to repeat these steps on the passenger side in order to remove the airbag. Pop this cover off with a flat blade screwdriver and the same one on the opposite side of the wheel. Remove the two 8mm bolts. Be sure to touch metal components of the vehicle before removing the bag to make sure that there's no static charge on your body. And disconnect the electrical connector at the back of the bag. Remove the T50 Torx bolt in the center of the steering wheel with the Torx bit, ratchet, and extension. Remove this connector. You may need to use a small flat blade screwdriver to get back there. Push the tab. Carefully wiggle this cable out. Now you can use a steering wheel puller, but if you don't have access to one, you can normally hit the back of the wheel and work it back and forth. Carefully remove it so you don't tear out the clock spring. Remove the 4 Phillips head screws for your switches. Remove these 2 Phillips head screws on the back cover of the steering wheel. Remove the back cover of the steering wheel. We'll remove our switches and their cables from the retainer. Carefully pass the connector through. And remove the 2 spade connectors at the top. It may help to use a small flat blade screwdriver to pry them off of the spades. Remove your switches. Here we have our old cruise control switches that we removed from our vehicle and our new parts from 1AAuto.com. As you can see, these parts are exactly the same with the exception of some minor aesthetic differences. We have the same mounting locations. We have this same ribbon style connector, as well as these connectors and the ground here. This ribbon style cable can be very brittle, can become torn or caught inside of the wheel and possibly become damaged, making your cruise control malfunction. So if you need to fix your cruise control switches, This new part from 1A Auto is going to go in direct fit, just like your original equipment, and fix you up right. Send the connector back through the slot in the wheel. Send the buttons down into place. We'll reinstall our Phillips head screws. Be sure when installing this top screw on the on-off buttons that you get that ground wire on there too. Send the spade connectors around the back side of the wheel. Plug them in at the top. Flip the wheel over. Lock the ribbon into place. Now reinstall the back cover. Be sure that the ribbon doesn't get pinched anywhere while we're doing this, and that the holes where the airbag is going to reconnect are clear. And reinstall your 2 Phillips head screws. Send the wire harness from the clock spring back through the steering wheel. Pull the ribbon out of the way so we don't get it pinched. There is an alignment tab, so you can turn the wheel until you feel it seat in. Push it back into place. And reconnect the ribbon connector to the clock spring. Reinstall the T50 Torx bolt in the center. Bring it down with a socket and ratchet. Torque the bolt to 30 foot-pounds. Reconnect the electrical connector. Reinstall the airbag into the wheel. Be sure that all wiring is out of the way of the bag and its mounting points. Reinstall the 2 8mm screws on the back of the airbag. Once the screws are tight, reinstall the plastic covers. The safest way to check that you installed your airbag correctly, to make sure that it doesn't go off with you in the vehicle, we'll put the key in the ignition, turn it to the on position, and then reconnect the battery. So if there is an issue and the bag is going to deploy, it does so while we are outside the vehicle. Reconnect the battery, tighten the clamp back up. We're going to use an 8mm socket and ratchet, or you can use a wrench. Ensure your connection is tight. And you're ready to go.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope this video helped you out. Next time you need parts for your car, please visit 1aauto.com. Also check out our other helpful how-to as well as diagnosis videos.